points allowed per game. Duke number 2 with 54.3. So you can expect a defensive-minded game.
And we saw that with a win today, that would be 20 straight seasons for this Duke program. With 20 or more wins in a season. Incredible consistency. And we kicked high in the air, and it will stay with the Cavaliers. The opening moments of the first quarter from John Paul Jones Arena. Charlottesville, Virginia, Tom Wormy, former Virginia standout, Chelsea Shine, over 1,000 points in her career, and our outstanding ACC College Hoops production crew with you on a Super Sunday. Willoughby.
Jocelyn Willoughby had 2 points in their game Thursday night against Georgia Tech, which went into overtime. I think today she'll need to be more of a factor on the offensive end. Coach P. McCauley told us before the game that's one of the players they were worried about for Virginia, getting off, started early on the offensive end.
Deflected and taken by Greenwell. Lexi Brown passed up the shot. Shot clock is at 5. Brown. Lambert just kind of throws one up there. That's a shot clock violation. And you see that Virginia defense on display. Very first possession defensively for Joanne Boyle's team.
Virginia running a 2-3 zone. They call it the Buzz, a trapping zone. Duke will also play a matchup zone. So zone defenses are primarily what both of these teams play. And then the other freshman, who is the other number that Coach P told us before the game, Dominique Toussaint, knocking down the shot. She had 16 points against Georgia Tech.
She led the team with those 16 points and went 2 of 8 from long distance. So 19th made 3 of the season. Greenwell cannot answer. Willoughby tapped it. Greenwell followed her shot, and it's an offensive foul against Duke.
Well, the freshman getting started off early for Virginia. Dominique Toussaint from behind the arc. And then it was a good inside-out 3 attempt, and Greenwell rebounding her own shot. Greenwell leads this Duke team in rebounding. She's a guard, but Virginia able to get the possession back off an offensive foul.
And she is one of the most decorated Duke players on the floor and in the history of the program. Moses flashes. It's an easy rebound for Odom.
We'll talk about Greenwell and Brown as 2 of the top 3-point scorers, not only on this team, but in the program history of Duke. But they want to try to get their threes going from the inside out.
Short shot from Greenwell, rims out. Poulandel on the break. Knocked away by the quick hands of Brown. It was right back to Willoughby. Toussaint rattles in the 3. And a timeout on the court.
The fearless freshman, 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
Jones Arena this afternoon, they're hoping for a victory to snap a 24-game losing streak against Duke, but many reasons why the Cavs could win today in addition to their 8-0 start.
And well, Duke has been really good this season, and they've grown with every game, but they've struggled on the road. All of their losses, all 4 of their losses have come on the road, and so for Virginia, you know, the numbers are against them in terms of the series history, but this might be the best chance they have on their home floor to try to get another top 25 win.
Deflected out of bounds. The officials confer, and they'll keep it at this end of the court. Coach Boyle's team has won 4 of its last 6 games. They had a 22-point lead in the 3rd quarter on Thursday against visiting Georgia Tech and almost let it slip away. Able to win in overtime. 65-64 in a thrilling finish here at John Paul Jones Arena for their 15th win of the season.
Georgia Tech really able to attack the zone, get the ball in the heart of the zone to make that comeback, and started crashing the boards. To come back from a 22-point deficit was impressive by Georgia Tech.
Poulandel to Greenwell. Poulandel made a couple of threes in that game against Georgia Tech, where Virginia went 5 of 21 from beyond the arc. They limited Georgia Tech to just 2 made three-pointers. Odom floating through the lane.
Good look by Odom off the bounce, 2 feet in the paint. But Coach McCauley would like to see her team attack this zone off the bounce or via a pass, but through the lane.
That was the first made field goal of the game for Duke. 1 for 5 from the floor. Greenwell trying to go by 4 defenders. Lost it out of bounds, but it was off of Virginia.
It starts with the front line of this defense. The top 2 players really trying to hold off the ball from getting inside, and it starts up at the top there. Greenwell able to weave her way inside the defenders that time.
Hulandell called for the foul for Virginia.
Here's a look. Greenwell gets in the middle of the first 2 defenders.
Greenwell is near automatic from the free throw line. 87% of the season. 4th best in the Atlantic Coast Conference. She had 21 points to lead the way into victory against Clemson. There's a big block inside of the save. Cooper had the block in transition. Brown.
Duke leads the ACC in blocks per game. There's a 3 by Lambert. Virginia has limited 3 of their last 5 opponents to just 2 made three-pointers. And it's been a reason why their defense has been so successful, is when teams aren't knocking down that outside shot. If Duke can get hot from behind the arc, it will force Virginia to need to make some adjustments.
Brown. Shot may have been deflected. That was Odom defending. 7-0 run for Duke. Make it a 9-0 run, and the Blue Devils have taken the lead. Mason. Coach McCauley told us about the defensive effort she needed from her team to stop the drives. They stopped the drive, but couldn't stop the 3 from Brown.
Well, if Virginia can knock down those 3s, a zone will give you a step in those shots.
Odom, the turnaround miss. Kyra Brown coming off a 10-point, 12-rebound performance against Georgia Tech on Thursday. Her first career double-double for the junior and transfer from East Carolina. Mason the miss. Fired up the court to Brown. Odom. Hulandell able to defend off Greenwell. And a reset from Duke. Lambert.
Good screening action. Lambert able to just use a little rub screen by Kendall Cooper for a long jumper.
Virginia trying to utilize that 3-point shot. 6 of their 9 shot attempts have been from 3-point distance. They've connected on 3 of them. Willoughby. And now Brown. Greenwell had it knocked away. Effort by Moses, and she misses, and it's Duke ball.
Well, Duke leads the league in block shots per game, able to keep it in bounds, keep that possession. And how about Lambert wide open for that 3? As they went on their run, got some transition offense as well.
Lambert's got 7 points to lead the way for Duke. You mentioned their shot blocking ability, almost 5.5 per game. They can shoot the 3 as well, especially number 23, Rebecca Greenwell.
And that's a great shot, not just because it's Rebecca Greenwell, but because the ball went inside to the post first and then out for a wide open look.
How about 56 made 3s on the season from Greenwell? That is the best on the team.
The addition of Lexi Brown, some pressures come off of Rebecca Greenwell in terms of offense, and you have a 2-guard combo now that you have to respect, who can attack off the dribble and who can knock down from behind the arc.
Felicia Aoten is into the game for Virginia. She goes 6'9", but that's a traveling violation from Brown.
Watch this ball get into the middle of the paint with the pass through Cooper, and then it's a kick out to Greenwell. That's the highest percentage three you'll get when working against a zone.
See, she's got 201 made threes. Just needs one more to tie for third in school history. She set the school record this year against Pepperdine. She made 8 3-pointers in a single game. Amazing accuracy. That pass deflected by Toussaint. Tried to tiptoe the sideline, and Jules Gallion says she stepped out of bounds. Although he is consulting with Luis Gonzalez.
Well, Dominique Toussaint was trying to plead her case that she got a little bit pushed out of bounds, but referees do get together and decide that it was just a step out of bounds.
Toussaint is one of the top freshman scorers in the league this year. Close to 10 points per game for Dominique Toussaint, the freshman from Staten Island, New York, who was the New York State High School Player of the Year last year. Shot clock all the way down to 1. Brown got it away, and she spun it down.
How about Lexi Brown, a contested three to beat the shot clock.
Minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Duke is on a 17-3 run over the last 4.5 minutes. This is after Virginia started out the game on an 8-0 run.
Lexi Brown comes to the ball, catch and shoot to beat the buzzer.
First three-pointer of the game for Brown on her first attempt. She's got 51 made threes this season. 13 points and 7 assists in the win against Clemson. Out of the corner, in rhythm, and down.
Well, this
Lexi Brown again, Chelsea.
This is a good sign for Duke. Greenwell and Lexi Brown getting off to a quick start offensively. Kyra Lambert has 7 too, so that 3-guard front responsible for this Duke lead right now.
Duke is 4 of 6. Beyond 20 feet 9 inches away. They are third best in the conference as a team. 3-point shooting. And another turnover from Virginia, as that was Monet Jones stepping on the end line.
Here's another three. A screen on the top of the zone and a skip pass over top for Brown.
In her last 5 games, Brown has been outstanding. Close to 23 points per game, 55% from the floor. And in 4 of those games, she's gone for 20 points or more. She also shoots 92% from the free throw line. This is Greenwell behind the screen. Rebecca Greenwell on target with a 3.
Virginia's going to need to make some adjustments at the end of this quarter. Duke has been able to find the outside shot from all over the court.
Duke has made 4 threes in a row. Final seconds of the first quarter. Baseline jumper will drop. At the very end of the quarter, Virginia's able to get a bucket. But Duke, after calling a timeout after an 8-0 run for the Cavs, knocking down their 3-pointers. It is
made 130 threes as a team. Lexi Brown, Rebecca Greenwell, Kyra Lambert have made 128 of them. No one else is shooting the 3. So if you're Virginia, those are the 3 players you must find and must defend. And now they're in a man-to-man. They were getting over-rotated in that zone as Duke was able to get the ball inside.
Another 3 attempt from Lambert. She's the cutter and the kick out to Brown. Brown and Greenwell have both made 2 3-pointers. Opening moments of the second quarter from John Paul Jones Arena. These teams met in the ACC tournament last year, Duke prevailing. This is Lambert, just inside the line. Toussaint had it for a moment, tried to put it on the floor and lost it.
And it seems like every time Virginia has turned the ball over, Duke has capitalized. An extra possession.
Cooper does not get the bounce. Moses pulls it down. As we told you, Virginia 10-1 on its home floor this season. And 3-1 in conference play. That's a lazy pass that's picked off easily by Brown for a layup.
And we heard Coach Boyle talk before the game to her team about doing the little things, taking care of the little things. And these are the little things that a coach is talking about when they say that. It's the turnovers, the unforced turnovers. And Duke has 10 points off of Virginia's 4 turnovers right now, so capitalizing on that.
Toussaint trying to drive, defended by Brown. Now Mason. Traveling.
Here's one of these turnovers, just a lazy pass. Lexi Brown reads that pass across the top so well, and it's how she gets so much of her offense leaking out. She's at the top of that Duke zone. It's quick, easy points for her.
Second most of the entire country. She averages 3 per game, which is 3rd of the ACC. Lambert open but misses. Another rebound for Moses.
Duke's really made Virginia play high, start their offense from far beyond the 3-point line. There's Jakira Brown knocking down a 3. Ooh, it's been a lot of the 3 ball here this afternoon.
Second 3 from Brown, and that represents all of her points this afternoon with 6 out of the corner. Falling down, Lexi Brown. Almost ended up in the front row.
She's going shot for shot right now. A little smile on her face. Taking some contact.
11 points for Brown and another 3-pointer. That's her 3rd of the game. She hasn't missed from beyond the arc. Moses travels through the paint. It was deflected and taken by Duke. This is Odom. Flips it right back. A couple of defenders collapse. Traveling against Duke.
Lexi Brown, look at that little pop out. Reads the defense, gets the shot up, takes some contact.
Virginia is one of the better teams defending the 3. But Duke today, 6 of 10. 3 of them have come from Lexi Brown, 2 from Rebecca Greenwell.
Duke has shot Virginia out of their zone defense. Have them playing man now. Here's Jakira Brown. Just made one.
She ended up with the ball, but then lost it. Deflected away to Greenwell. Erin Mathias has also come in for Duke. She wears number 35. That pass to Odom is off of her hands and out of bounds.
You could sort of see Lexi Brown make eye contact with Liana Odom on that play. Just a little too much on it. Liana Odom is athletic. Just couldn't catch that pass.
Coach McCauley's in her 10th year as the head coach at Duke. 8 times she's taken them to the NCAA tournament. Luis Gonzalez makes the call on the baseline. That is Mathias, her first. 2005, taking Michigan State all the way to the NCAA championship game. She's been in a conference, she's won a conference title in 4 different leagues. She's the only coach in Division I to do that. She's also the head coach at Maine, Michigan State, and now Duke. Brown, too strong off the glass on the drive.
Look at Lexi Brown, just sort of survey where her teammates are, knows her teammates' strengths. She's been to 2 Final Fours with Maryland, sat out last year, was able to practice with the team with transfer rules. Just brings so much leadership to this program.
Greenwell was dribbling on the baseline, went out of bounds and will stay with Duke. Also, Faith Suggs is in the lineup right now for the Blue Devils, top of the key, number 14. Gonna get a foul against Duke. Second second on Rebecca Greenwell. She's got 8 points in the game. Brown leads the way with 11. So Greenwell will go to the bench area with those 2 personal fouls. Rebecca Greenwell is a junior from Owensboro, Kentucky. Made her 88th career start today. She's a spectator right now, and a foul on the drive as Tierra Cruz has the call. First on Cheatham. Virginia makes a substitution. Leah Hulandel back in the lineup. You wonder for Virginia, Chelsea, how much energy was expended on Thursday in that game that they had such a large lead but let it slip away, ultimately winning. Great passing there.
Certainly an emotional game. Jakira Brown, one of those players, had her first double-double of her career, able to find the basket. And that pass down low.
Willoughby with the bounce pass in between the Duke defenders. 4.5 minutes to go in our second quarter. Suggs thought about a 3. Mathias working inside, and she gets that to fall.
Erin Mathias, I think, is the most improved player on this team. She scored 98 points over her first 2 years. That's her 105th point of the season. More playing time, a bigger role on this team this year. And another inside pass for Moses.
It was Willoughby again, drawing the defensive attention and then passing off to Lauren Moses for her first basket of the game. She averages over 10 per game scoring for Virginia. Hulandel defending Brown on the switch. Doesn't stop Brown with a nifty fadeaway.
What a step back. Dixie Brown just created so much space for herself off that little step back. Was closely defended. Athletic move.
13 points for Brown to lead all scorers in the first half. Mason, three-pointer, Brianna Mason.
That shot available because Virginia attacked off the bounce, got the ball inside, able to suck Duke's zone down. Brianna Mason has the best shooting percentage from beyond the arc on the team right now for Virginia.
Only senior on the team has the ball again. Pulls up mid-range. Just a little too strong. Cheatham was able to pull it down. Brown will walk it up. 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Duke's won 2 in a row, 4 of their last 5, and 5 of their last 7 for the number 15 team in the nation. Moses continues to work hard on the glass. Hulandel with the quick trigger and the line drive three-pointer.
A transition 3 for Aaliyah Hulandel from the corner. Virginia didn't have numbers, but Aaliyah Hulandel is not afraid to take that shot.
Nobody's made more threes on this Virginia team. Her 28th of the season and first basket of the game. Aaliyah Hulandel. Mathias against 2 defenders.
Virginia got switched on that play. Erin Mathias at 6'4" was working against Brianna Mason, who's just 5'8", capitalized on the mismatch.
4 points down for Mathias coming off of that Duke bench. Defending well inside against Moses. Willoughby had to kick it back out. Mason tried to cut down the lane. Looks like Lambert got a piece of Mason. So the Cavaliers trying to make their comeback.
Brianna Mason hitting a 3.
Dawn Staley, the player of the year in 91 and 92, and a 3-time All-American, over 2,000 points in her career at Virginia. 3 times to the Final Four. I think the greatest thing about Dawn Staley was she was the MVP of the Final Four on a losing team, which is incredible. And now she's such a successful coach at South Carolina, a team that Duke beat earlier this year.
She's done such a great job with that program. Got that Philly swag, so tough. Sort of coaches like she played.
Saved on the baseline by Duke. Blue Devils have some very impressive wins on their resume. South Carolina when they were number 3 in the country. Kentucky when they were number 17, and Louisville. And that was a win when Louisville was number 8 in the nation. 7 teams in the top 25 out of the ACC, and Duke gets the interior basket.
Duke has been getting better every game. That's a backcourt violation. The pass to Willoughby just a second too soon. Feet weren't over half court fully when she caught that pass.
Coach Boyle sitting on the Virginia bench for her 6th season as the head coach. She's got over 300 wins in her career, but does not have one against Duke, a team for which she starred in her collegiate playing days, and she was a long-time assistant coach as well. And she'll appreciate the short jumper from Willoughby.
Oh, in transition, Willoughby saw her 6'9" teammate Felicia Ayatin in rebounding position, so that's a good shot to take when you've got somebody in there who can rebound if it misses.
Ayatin, the freshman from Nigeria at 6'9". And that shot at the very end of the second quarter clock. What a first half for Lexi Brown and the Blue Devils. Brown with 13 points to lead everybody. She was 3 for 3 from long distance, and overall three-point shooting 6 of 12 from Duke in that.
Pointers by the end of that first half. Duke had a 12-point lead at one point, responding to a Virginia 8-0 run to start the game.
Virginia will have the ball to start the second half. This is Mason all the way to the rim. Matthias had it for a moment. Knocked away from her, but it will be Duke basketball. Well, the other thing I noticed on that graphic, Chelsea, is that you better be the number 3 seed or better to have a realistic chance at winning that tournament. 17 years in a row where the number 3 seed or better has won the championship. That was Maryland in 2012, last number 3 seed to do that. Of course, there's so much talent at the tournament. Greenwell with a 3.
Rebecca Greenwell spent most of that second quarter on the bench with 2 fouls. Comes right in and less than a minute in, and she's knocked down another 3.
That's her 3rd 3 of the game. She is now 3rd in school history for made three-pointers. She has 203 in her career, and she's got another season to come in the Duke Blue Devil uniform. Shot clock is at 5 for Willoughby. Lambert trying to go stride for stride. Odom knocked it out of bounds.
Here's Rebecca Greenwell. Watch her run that baseline. Nobody sees her. It's plenty of space to get that shot off. And they put 1 second back on the shot clock. As time was running down, Jocelyn Willoughby passed the ball off to Ulandell, who got her shot blocked. So 1 second back on the clock.
11 points for Greenwell, 73rd time in her career in double figures. Matthias knocked that one away, and now it is a true shot clock violation, and back to Duke. Duke has won 29 of the last 30 between the teams, and if Greenwell keeps doing that, it's going to be trouble for the Cavs. 4th three-pointer of the game, Rebecca Greenwell.
That's what makes Duke such a difficult team to guard. Lexi Brown, who was knocking down the shots early in the first half. Now it's her teammate back in the game, Rebecca Greenwell.
14 points for Greenwell, leads all scorers. Can she add to the total? It's up and good. As Toussaint tried to get back, and there is a timeout on the court.
Well, that's a quick 8-0 run for Duke to start this quarter. It started off with Rebecca Greenwell knocking down that three. Then she gets her own steal out in transition. Duke extends their lead over Virginia. Time at Duke in career three-point field goals made. Has had far too much space to get those threes off.
Greenwell 4 of 5 from three-point distance, now 204 made threes for Greenwell. Points off the turnovers, big too. 10 Virginia turnovers, 17 points by Duke off of those turnovers.
Now Duke with its largest lead of 16.
Coach Brett! Coach Brett!
Duke on Thursday won at home against Clemson 65-37. Its second straight win by 28 points against an opponent, because last Sunday they won at home against Wake Forest by 28.
Run! Out!
Duke struggles have been on the road. They've lost 3 of their last 4 road games, but today have shot the ball exceptionally well. Played some tough defense in addition to that. That's why they lead 44-28. As Jakira Brown will come back into the lineup. Toussaint goes to the Virginia bench.
And aside from that early on, that 8-0 run that Virginia started the game with, Duke's pressure has made it difficult for them to get into any sort of rhythm on this end of the floor.
Mason. Shot clock is bearing down on her. Moses pulls it away, and a fresh shot clock. 6 rebounds in the game for Moses. Kick out to Mason, just inside the free throw line. A second attempt.
Second chance opportunities. Virginia hasn't had many of them. Mason able to stick with it.
First second chance points of the game for Virginia. Mason's got 7. Brown leads the way with 8. That jumper good. Lambert now with 9 points, 4 of 8 from the floor. Approaching the 6-minute threshold of the third quarter. Tom Wormy, Chelsea Shine, the former Virginia standout, and our talented production crew here on ACC College Hoops. And Jones dragged the pivot foot for a traveling violation.
Well, just too much dribbling up high, and Duke's defense has forced Virginia to play their offense high. They've got them a few feet off the three-point line. Another turnover unforced for Virginia.
See Matthias and Willoughby getting tangled up inside. Moses has another rebound. She clears it to Mason. Moses had 7 rebounds in the win against Georgia Tech. Tried to get the ball to her, deflected. Ahead to Brown. Lets the defender go on by, and Willoughby, and lays it in. Lexi Brown.
Great lead pass by Greenwell to get that ball out in front of Brown, who was able to catch it in stride.
15 points now for Brown. Kyra Brown on the baseline. Deflected inside as Moses fights with Matthias and Odom. Great work at both ends by Moses.
Lauren Moses has only had 2 double-digit scoring performances in the last 2 games, but able to impact the game in other areas off of a rebound. It's still been all Duke. Another unforced error, and Duke able to get out in transition. Lexi Brown with the finish.
On the right, and they're enjoying what's been going on so far at John Paul Jones Arena, as they are sitting right behind that Duke bench and supporting the Blue Devils on the road. The number 15 team in the country, trying to win their 25th straight game against Virginia. Now, when I brought this up to Chelsea Shine earlier, she said, well, That is an amazing thing to do. To beat a team that many times in a row. You have to go back to 2000 for the last time that Virginia beat Duke, and it was right here in Charlottesville.
Duke was the one team that I never beat during my time at Virginia in the ACC. Year in and year out, just such great teams. This Duke program.
Brown was cut off and traveled. Let's see, yet another turnover. 6th of the quarter. Duke already has 7 points off of those turnovers in this quarter. Becca Greenwell is the leading scorer with 16 points. Boy, does she love to play against Virginia. 2 previous career games against Virginia, she's averaged 23 points and 8 rebounds and was 9 of 17 from 3 coming in. But as Chelsea also noted, that was not against her defense. As Greenwell came a little bit after Chelsea Shine in 2012. They call the foul on that attempted block by Willoughby.
Willoughby working against Kendall Cooper inside. Frustrated for that call.
We have not had a lot of free throws in our game. That is just the 3rd taken by Duke, and Virginia has not attempted a free throw in the game.
Duke's done a good job of keeping Virginia in front. It's so impressive when you watch Greenwell and Brown play defense and Kyra Lambert keeping the ball in front without fouling.
Mason, who had 15 points against Georgia Tech, she played 44 minutes in that overtime victory against the Yellow Jackets on Thursday.
When Virginia struggles on the defensive end to get stops, it affects the way they play on the offensive end. And that's something Coach Boyle noted happened when Georgia Tech was making their run, coming back from being down 22. Georgia Tech started attacking Virginia's defense, and it affected the way that Virginia played on the offensive end. There's a travel by Duke. Coach Boyle said we just tend to get tentative when we're not getting stops on the defensive end. It makes us tentative on the offensive end, and you can sort of see that this afternoon.
Now in that game against Georgia Tech, they held the Yellow Jackets to 2 of 17 from 3-point distance. For Duke today, 8 of 15 from 3-point territory, and those 8 makes the most in an ACC game this year for the Blue Devils. Virginia's now gone over 3.5 minutes without a point. That one was deflected as Toussaint attempted the shot. Greenwell drops it off, and it's an easy layup as she found Kendall Cooper running the floor.
That's textbook transition offense right there. 1 or 2 dribbles is all you need to get the ball down the floor. Use it, do it with a pass. Good run out by Kendall Cooper.
Like a Tom Brady pass to a wide receiver, and Greenwell ran under it and grabbed it and fed Cooper.
How do you get the Super Bowl reference?
Well, you know, it's kind of a big day. We're glad that you started your day with us. For some ACC college hoops, women's action in the ACC, Duke and Virginia. Kind of a big game coming up a little bit later in Houston, but that's much later in the day. How about Cooper? Little shovel pass, and it's another easy bucket. Odira Cheatham. Timeout on the court. Taken by the Cavaliers.
Well, Duke, who'd been knocking down threes, finding some offense now inside with their post. Look at this transition offense. Pass ahead by Lexi Brown, run out by Kendall Cooper. 9-0 run for Duke. Good extra pass there. Saw her post player running out ahead.
And if you're wondering who might win today, take a look at this.
It hinges on what Duke does.
It does. If Duke wins on Super Bowl Sunday, the AFC team, which is the New England Patriots, has won 4 of 5. And if Duke loses, the NFC team has won all 3 times that Duke has lost on Super Bowl Sunday. So maybe the slight advantage to the Patriots, although I think it's going to be a tremendous game later on today in Houston. But how about that? That's interesting. Work to do for Coach McCauley's team before they settle in for Super Bowl 51.
That's good work by Duke Sports Information Director Lindy Brown to pull out stats like that.
Tell you what, he's been keeping track of things. Toussaint looking for some help. This is Moses. So Moses is able to score off the pass from Ayatin.
These are the two tallest teams in the ACC as well. When you look at the size inside right now between Cooper and Cheatham for Duke and Ayatin and Moses for Virginia. Virginia with about a 2-inch average height advantage over Duke overall.
That foul win against Lexi Brown, her first. We saw Ayatin against Georgia Tech as we get a collision in the backcourt, and Lambert is slow to get up, and she collided with Moses. Ayatin had 4 blocks in the first half. Not surprising to know that she leads Virginia in blocks with 44. Cheatham is running the floor, and she's rewarded.
Balanced offense. Duke is finding ways to score. Post players running out. It's been a good transition afternoon for Duke.
7 different Duke players have scored. Cheatham has 4 points. Mason cannot find the range. And now just 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Duke had an 8-point halftime lead. Cooper turns around and just throws it in. I mean, they are dropping from all angles for the Blue Devils. Duke leads this quarter 21-4 with 18 seconds to go. Ayatin. Bit of a sky hook.
Working on that this morning. Assistant coach Tim Taylor.
Follows up and good from Cheatham to beat the buzzer. And what a quarter for Duke. Outscoring Virginia 23-6.
And has been all Duke, the second leading scoring defense team in the ACC, have held Virginia to just 34 points, but they put up 59 because of the way they moved the ball against Virginia's defense. That's something Coach McCauley told us before the game she wanted to see her team do. Move the ball well, and then just such a balanced attack this game. Seven people have scored for Duke.
As a team, the Blue Devils shooting 57% from the floor. That is well above their season average of 47%, which is third in the conference. They will lose possession as Greenwell was trying to drive and lost the handle. Opening moments of the fourth quarter, which saw Virginia score just 6 points. Ayatin has to send it back out to Toussaint. Brown, step back dribble. Here comes Lexi Brown for Duke. In a congested area, lost control. Ayatin went to the floor with Matthias. Virginia has it.
That time Lexi Brown trying to attack, didn't have numbers.
Brown was the cutter. Moses, tough shot, falling down, right to Toussaint. Does not get the soft bounce. And that's a shot that she would normally make 9 times out of 10 from that range. Virginia as a team, 34% from the floor. And that's below their season average. Willoughby has picked up her second personal. This is one of 5 games in the ACC on Super Sunday. 2 games to come tomorrow. You've got Miami and Florida State, both teams ranked. That's at 7. That's Greenwell. Held that finish for an extra beat. 18 points with Rebecca Greenwell.
Rebecca Greenwell had 21 points in their last game versus Clemson, which was just her first 20-point game since December 4th when they played South Carolina.
Turn around for Moses.
We talked about it in the open, Tom, but when Lexi Brown and Rebecca Greenwell are playing well, it just it shows you how hard they are to defend. When those two are limited in what they're able to do, it's hard for the rest of the team to get going. There's a steal by Virginia.
The anticipation from Moses. Blocked at the other end. Cheatham was there, and her teammate Odom. Greenwell, Matthias running the floor. Matthias will get free throws.
I want to give credit to Duke's forwards. They've been running the floor well in transition. Watch Aaron Matthias. Ball passed ahead to Greenwell, hands up, finds her forward.
Matthias is 72% from the line, now 5 points after the made free throw. Told you that Duke is a great shot blocking team as well, Chelsea. They've got 7 as a team, and they lead the conference in blocks per game.
What's so impressive too is that they don't just block shots, but they block the shot and keep it in play. Saves the possession.
Virginia yet to go to the free throw line. Toussaint doubled on the sideline, out of bounds and off of Duke. Seven and a half minutes to go in our fourth quarter. Jablonowski, too strong. Popped up in the air to Brown. And a foul against Duke. There was only 4 seconds on the shot clock as Odom picked up her first personal. But the Blue Devils way out in front as we approach 7 minutes to go in this quarter. That's Toussaint. Another miss for her. Willoughby retrieves it. To Moses. Matthias fouled her. Chance at a three-point play.
We could hear Lauren Moses call for that ball inside as soon as she had her defender sealed. Good wraparound pass by Toussaint to get around Odom, and good finish through contact for Moses.
This will be the first free throw of the game for Virginia, as Moses has a chance at the old school three-point play. Despite the miss, 8 points from Moses, who earlier this season at Richmond had a career-high 27 points for the junior from Mount Holly, New Jersey. He has been a fixture in that starting lineup this season for Joanne Boyle. Triple on Odom. Rapid pass to Brown, and she'll direct some traffic. Kyra Brown. Duke so quick with the closing speed on the double using the sideline. Toussaint! That's a three.
Dominique Toussaint has gotten consistent from behind the arc. She knocked down a couple against Georgia Tech, some timely ones.
9 points now for Toussaint. Just over 6 minutes to go. Duke closing in on its 25th win in a row in this series.
It's funny talking to the coaches beforehand, asking, do you know about the streak? Do the players? And
Coach B had no idea.
No idea. And it's a good way to look at it, because for them, the record doesn't matter. You got to win today. Today's the relevant game. Today's the important game. But certainly, when you look at it on the grand scale, it is impressive what Duke's been able to put together in this run.
Coach McCauley is 11-0 against Virginia as the Duke head coach, as that one is slapped out of bounds. Shot clock at 5 for Willoughby, just inside the free throw line. Timeout called by Duke with 5.
Made adjustments, and when you're start getting to this point in the season, you're seeing teams in the ACC for the second time. It changes the way you can scout and prepare. Go back and look at game film from your previous matchup, make certain adjustments.
Duke has called a quick timeout here with 5:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah, right. Duke basketball. Brown to put it in play. 8 of 16 from three-point territory for Duke. Virginia's also shot it well from three-point distance. 7 of 17. But Duke took the 8-point lead at halftime. They have not looked back with a big third quarter, and now Brown in close. 17 points for Lexi Brown.
We talk so much about her as being such a mainstay on this team, and transfer from Maryland, 2 Final Fours, and here's another transition opportunity for Duke. Athletic pass by Lambert, saw the defender coming, able to create that pass there for Greenwell.
Rebecca Greenwell now with 20 points. So that's 20 or more for the 7th time this season. And she continues her stellar play against Virginia. Came into today with 2 career games averaging 23 points per against the Cavs, and she's put up 20 today. Mason mid-range.
Lauren Moses called for the ball inside, saw the double team come. Good move off the ball by Mason to cut in.
9 points now for Mason and 4 of 10 from the floor. One of the biggest discrepancies in the stat box. Brown misses. There's Greenwell again, and Moses defended and fouled, but points off of turnovers, 26-4 in Duke's favor.
Well, and this is why they've been able to get steals up high leading in transition. Look at this athletic pass to get that ball around Willoughby and to Greenwell.
Greenwell to the line. You don't see that very often. 87% from the free throw line.
Well, we talked about it earlier that if Virginia wanted to have a chance to win this game, they would have to slow these two down, and these two were able to find their offense all over the floor. 20 points for Rebecca Greenwell, 17 for Lexi Brown.
Brown just below our season average of 18, which is 4th in the conference, and leads the team. And Rebecca Greenwell, who averages 16.5 points per game, she's also in the top 10 in scoring in the ACC. With that free throw, has 21 points on the afternoon.
Well, Greenwell and Brown are the 2nd highest scoring tandem in the ACC, behind only Alexis Peterson and Brittany Sykes for Syracuse. But Brown and Greenwell score 34.5 points per game between the two of them on average.
The Orange in action today at Chestnut Hill against Boston College. 5 games in total today, 2 tomorrow. Told you about Miami and Florida State. The other game's pretty good too tomorrow. It's Louisville and Notre Dame, a top 10 matchup. I showed you Maya Spencer's buzzer-beating shot in overtime at Louisville. What a tough place to win. NC State has racked up some amazing wins this year. That includes a home win against Duke that we saw courtside, Chelsea, earlier this season. But they also lost to North Carolina, which has had its struggles too, but had a great win against NC State.
You know, and that was North Carolina's pink game. And there's always something special that happens on pink games. There's been so many upsets when you're wearing the pink uniform. But it will be an exciting matchup. UNC will have to travel to NC State in a few weeks. So a little bit of a revenge game for NC State, another opportunity.
February is all about Play for K. Kay Yow, the NC State legendary head coach for 34 years, who passed away in January of '09 after a courageous fight against cancer. And her memory very strong in this conference and throughout women's college basketball, and college basketball for that matter. And you'll see the pink worn by teams throughout the month. I mean, you got to wear the pink uniform, Chelsea, and as you said, it's extra special.
It's one of your favorite games of the year, and you get time to reflect and to learn about. Some of these players may not know who Coach Yao is, they get to learn who Coach Yao is and learn about her legacy and what she did for this women's basketball.
4 times she led NC State to an ACC tournament title. As we told you earlier in the show, we're going to the Myrtle Beach area, Conway, South Carolina, for the 40th renewal of the very first women's conference tournament. The ACC blazed the trail and set the standard and continues to do so. I'll be there along with Chelsea and Debbie Antonelli and Jen Hildreth, and LaChina Robinson will also join us, and a cast of many talented production folks behind the scenes as well, all converging on Conway, South Carolina. Can't wait to get there in early March. Here's what you got coming up for Coach Boyle and the Cavs. They have to go to Miami on Thursday.
Yeah, tough stretch. They have 4 ranked opponents left to play after this. They needed that win against Georgia Tech, which they got in overtime. And with a home court advantage, we're hoping to try to steal this one from Duke, but they'll need to try to snag 1 or 2 of those top 25 games if they have hopes of making it to the NCAA tournament.
Chelsea, as a former player, did you see any after effects from this Virginia team from the tussle against Georgia Tech in OT on Thursday?
I think that Duke just outplayed Virginia today. I think Duke was knocking down shots when a team's hitting threes against a zone. It forced Virginia to go to man-to-man, and Virginia just couldn't string together enough stops, and it really affected Virginia on the offensive end.
Matthias, great pass!
To beat the shot clock. Liana Odom. Duke has moved well off the ball.
They've posted 70 points against a team that defends so well. Virginia led the conference in scoring defense, allowing just 54 points to the opposition. Duke has put up 70 today. Don't forget tomorrow night, Jen and Deb on the call. Miami, Florida State, number 16 against number 6. Katie Meyer, Sue Semrau, the head coaches for those teams. Foul called with exactly 1 minute to go. So with the win today, Duke extends its winning streak against Virginia to 25 in a row in the series. And they will have won 5 of their last 6 games, 6 of their last 8. Starting to peak at a very good time, but having to take on number 24 Syracuse and Pittsburgh at home before a trip to Wake.
Yeah, and then after Wake, we play Miami and then are at North Carolina. So 2 more ranked teams, but winnable schedule for Duke, who also did not make the NCAA tournament last year. So another team that's very much made a case for themselves for this year.
Yeah, Duke losing in the quarterfinals of the tournament last year in Greensboro, North Carolina to Notre Dame, 83-54. They had beaten Virginia in the second round, 57-53, and also defeated them last year during the regular season in Durham. Final 30 seconds. A great start for Virginia. They started with an 8-0 run, but Chelsea seemingly from that point on, after Coach Cauley called that timeout after the 8-0 run from Virginia, it was all Duke from then on out.
Rebecca Greenwell, Lexi Brown, they set the tempo and the pace for this team. Duke was able to disrupt Virginia on the offensive end. They found some easy offense in transition and off of steals, and then from behind the arc.
Those 2 players combining for 38 points. Stu Rondell with a 3 for Virginia. But it's not going to be nearly enough today. 8 of 17 from 3-point range for the Duke Blue Devils, who improved their record to 20-4. 20 straight seasons with 20 wins or more for Duke at the Final Horn, and they improve to 8-3 in conference play. And Coach McCauley is perfect against Virginia. 25 in a row for the Blue Devils against the Cavs. Don't forget tomorrow night, Miami and Florida State at 7. For Chelsea.